I ain't never did no running back straight back like that. But trust and believe, it is going down. The Humbly Prolific Podcast by yours truly, Derek Bishop, Derek X, Lil Fred, Lil Country Boy from Ben Harbor, whatever y'all want to call me. But I'm on
Mr.
here with
Everything.
Mr. Everything, you understand me? I'm on here with two very important people, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves first.
Ladies
So,
first.
ladies first. Oh yeah. Hey, we believe in chivalry over this way.
You know what? I'll go first. I'm gonna jump off the bridge and I'm gonna give her some courage. How y'all doing? What's going on? I appreciate y'all for tapping in, seeing what jewels being dropped on this podcast. Appreciate you for supporting my brother platform, man. My name Indy 500. I am from South Bend. I'm working on becoming a professional video game streamer and all other things when it comes to this entertainment business.
Okay. Now, Miss Lady Megan, you already ain't showing your face, so at least you can do is give us your voice. What's going on here?
I'm doing the dishes right now.
Uh,
But I'll turn back in.
but man, Nick, bro, tell the people. Okay, then what's shaking? What's
Oh,
shaking?
and that's my cat, Ivy.
It's always one loose strand, a little giant to run around somewhere. But Nick, man, tell the people who you is, how you know me, how far we go back, and tell them the role that you play with trying to direct some of these youth out here, bro.
Okay, so first and foremost, as far as knowing how far we go back, just know we go back to. It's like I just woke up with you. I was born with you. I don't know how far we go back.
No
What was,
doubt.
a very long time ago. You are my brother's best friend. But what's crazy, you grew to be my brother, so I don't know you as my brother's best friend. You are my brother. You are my family. I was with you at my lowest time, and your lowest time next to death. But when it comes to just who I am, I'm a normal person from South Bend, Indiana, who just got a vision. And I've realized when it comes to having a vision, you can't just have drive. You got to be driven. So a lot of people got drive, but aren't necessarily driven. When it comes to the platform, when it comes to guiding the youth, I know what it's like to be misguided. I'm not saying I can force anybody to see anything I can get them to see, but I can say I can get them to see it differently. We all once kids. So a lot of people don't like to, level themselves down to a child level to uplift them. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. We fail to take ourselves down to our children's level or maybe even our friends' level to uplift them. Some days you got to even go so low to go underneath them to uplift them. So playing a part into this youth, I was a misled youth. I was in the gang banging, running the streets, shooting people, robbing people, driving cars, doing all the wrong things. But God set me down and gave me a second chance at life. And a lot of people look at prison as a bad thing. I wouldn't necessarily say prison is a bad thing. To me, prison is what you make it. Either it's gonna be resourceful or it's not. And so with that, I allowed these 10 years to, set in differently. Time is your most precious asset. It's something you can always give, but never get back. And so my part is to make sure the young ones realize their time. It's not long on this earth. It's not whether you live to be zero or you live to be 100. Time on earth ain't long, and so you got to make the best of it. You got to leave your footprint, and that's my goal, to leave a footprint so deep in this earth that even when after I'm gone years and years on down the road, they still remember me as somebody who was a early class clown and turned out to be one of the greatest from where he from. Just my confidence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Well said, babe.
Yeah, definitely well said. Definitely well said. So my question to you would be, you just came down here, surprised me with a visit down here, and you end up in my old stomper ground, Highland Projects out here in Bear Harbor. What would you say, and how would you show the increased likelihood of failure, prison, or early death to some of these youth? What would you say to steer them in the right direction without being seen as a hypocrite or preacher or somebody who don't know what they talking about?
I'm gonna use me as an example because I can't use nobody else because I don't know what anybody else went through. I lost
No,
10
no.
years of my life. Time is something you can always give but never get back. And within them 10 years, I can tell you at least over a billion things I could have been doing within them 10 years of making myself greater, making myself more prolific. I can say a lot of people who go to prison don't find themselves at all. I really took the time, and this is the analogy I use. I really took the time to really tear my armor off myself and rebuild myself to put a whole new different type of armor on. You know, it's all right with admitting to yourself that as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 25-year-old, you don't know yourself, and it is okay. I'm here to tell you it's okay because I didn't really figure myself out until like a couple years ago. I really didn't understand what I wanted until I was sitting 2 years after my out date, and I had to really let go of the lifestyle I was truly living. And when I say let go, I had to let that shit all the way go, excuse my language. And in order for somebody to become prolific in their eyes, and that's sort of kind of broad statement because, to be honest, you can sit at home all day, play the video game, and be prolific as long as it meets your standards, you know. But one thing that I realized is we don't realize how precious time is. A lot of people want to focus on the older guys misleading the younger guys and getting the younger guys to do what it is that they want them to do. It's not nothing about that. One thing I don't hear these older guys or these OGs out in the street preaching is time. We only so limited to so much until God say our time up. So what I want to preach is not misdirection. It's not the fact that we misdirecting our youth. It's the fact that we are not giving them the tools to utilize their time. As long as we can figure out what to do with our time, positive and I'm gonna say constructive, not constructive, because when we weigh the pros and cons, the cons are the bad things and the pros are positive. So I'm gonna say constructive. We fail to give the youth constructive things to do with their time to better themselves. We supposed to be putting trust fund accounts for our children. So when they 18, 19, you know, they have something to hold on to and they set. They say you want to hide something from a black man, put it where?
In a book. No doubt.
In a book. We fail to read. We fail to do things with our time that are constructive, brother. And I'm not preaching if you want to get out the streets, get out the streets. I want you youth out the streets. No, what I'm going to say is if you're going to be in the streets, do something constructive. Teach people. A lot of people want to learn but don't want to teach. They say when the student appears, the teacher will show. So at the end of the day, you know, like it says, man, it's about teaching. It's about investment. You got to realize if you going to give something, you got to be able to seek something in return. You can learn a lot even from a dummy. And that's where I stand. You know what I'm saying? It's about learning and making sure that not just the next generation, as long as you still breathing, you still got time. So it's about not just the youth. It's even more cancerous in the adults than it is the youth. Because that's where the youth get it from. And a lot of people don't realize it starts with us, not the youth.
No doubt. It definitely starts with the adults. It's not the youth.
I feel like we look at the youth as the foundation, the next ones to walk this path. But I look at the youth as the point to the pyramid. We the foundation. Because we the one who lay the path for them to walk on.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Agreed.
The point to the pyramid.
You know, I don't know. I to be honest, I didn't come here to think that I got something for anybody to think I got something scripted, think I wrote this out, I prepared this. No, this is really, I ain't gonna say from the bottom of my heart. This really common sense, but I'm realizing for everybody that has not been in a struggle or has had life, common sense ain't always common because the things you and I have had to figure out, they'll never figure out. They'll never fail. They'll never trial and error. It's already laid out for them. So I say the people in the trenches, the ones with the real struggle is the foundation.
It is.
I just want to clarify, excuse me, I just want to clarify for everybody. When I say trenches, I don't mean poverty. I mean your internal struggle. Everybody struggle differently and everybody face a different struggle. So if you got a struggle, it may not necessarily mean that you may not be able to make these ends meet financially. It may necessarily be that you got a relationship that you're trying to figure out that you realize and just not working out. That may be your struggle. You know, so it's something different for
Mhm.
everybody. But I can tell you about my struggle. I can tell you, I've slept in abandoned houses. I've slept on abandoned floors. I've slept with the mice. I've slept with the roaches, and I made best friend with cockroaches. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we've watched each other walk back and forth to save a lot for our parents. So you know what I'm saying?
No
And
doubt, no
it,
doubt,
it
no doubt. Park lunches. We done lost the brother for a
want to
minute,
do it
y'all.
all.
Let me get some.
And I'm just a person who has struggled. I just want to do better for myself.
Yeah, yeah. I before we get any further, right? I know, I know you with Megan, and she see who you are now. But like, this ain't just for her, right? This for anybody who watching and that's gonna see this later. Tell them who we were, what our life was like, what it was like seeing each other on that prison yard. Like, walk them through our transition.
Okay, so
Like, walk them through that, because when a lot of people meet us now, most of them can't believe, one, we did the time we did, we live how we live, and we made that exit on that long highway of destruction that we did. Because even with my credentials from prison, right? I'm talking about like the positive stuff with the teaching and facilitating classes, the being the coordinator for the nation and leading the prison compound and all that. You know, I did that collectively. I did that a total for almost 3 years of my bit, for about 2 years and 11 months, not even full 3 years. But I'm learning how to use them qualifications, certifications on the streets, and I'm a certified mentor with the Michigan Department of Corrections right now. I'm waiting to be linked up and matched with somebody who just got home. You feel me? However, walk the people through that, because both of us got to a point where we had to sit down with ourselves in the hole 2 years past our outdates, because I was 2 years past mine too. I did 11. I only supposed to did 9. But I had to sit with myself in that mirror in the hole, like, man, you jacking your life off. Like, you worse than your daddy was. You got so much dislike for your daddy sometimes. You worse than your daddy was to your little boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, walk them about who we was, our walk, and what it was like daily for us on that prison, y'all, because most folks don't know. What was it like though? You
all
feel
right,
me?
if you allow me, I want to start before prison. Let's start there. Let's break this down.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Walk them about who, yeah,
Okay,
hell yeah.
so Derek Bishop is my big brother's best friend. I have watched them go to parties, come home, my brother teeth missing, and it was
Yeah.
always exciting to me. I never really knew how mentally, emotionally, and physically impactful and traumatizing watching y'all run the streets. Like, I wanted to be just like y'all. Y'all were the ones that was always around, so I wanted to be just like y'all. And it's funny because I was actually
Mm.
sheltered. And you know this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no
But to
doubt.
to
No
get to
doubt.
the question that you asked for, it's actually crazy because we lived literally directly down the street from each other, and I just remember you disappearing. Never knew where you went. Never knew you was locked up. Asked about you one day, and nobody had an answer in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
I disappeared twice.
Yeah,
Remember?
and that's what the first time I was there. I was walking in when you disappeared, so I knew you was at where you was at the first time. Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually ended
yeah,
up walking into the
yeah,
Family
yeah,
Dollar that
yeah,
day. But no, for real, big
yeah.
bro, like, I remember one day hitting the prison yard and somebody like, "Hey, you from Indiana, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They like, "Hey, man, dog from Indiana over there." But I remember walking past you and looking at you like that looked just like my brother, best friend Bishop. But nah, ain't no way he locked up all the way in Indiana because I had always just knew you to be from my hood. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
remember the first day I met you on the prison yard. We'll never forget this. And it's funny because I was actually telling Megan this. It's crazy because I remember me going through the lunch line and you like, "Hey, you from South Bend?" And it instantly clicked because I wanted to ask you for the longest, like, "Is you Bishop, my brother, best friend?" And when you asked me like, "You from South Bend?" I instantly knew who you were. I'm like, "Yeah, I know who you is. Your name Bishop, right?" And you laugh. You like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Man, do you remember me?" You like, "No." I'm like, "I'm JT, little brother." And one thing that I remember, and this is one of my most powerful, impactful prison stories I'll probably ever tell, because the police The COs allowed me and you to do something they would never allow anybody else to do. You didn't ask questions. You came straight around the corner and just hugged me. And the police allowed you to, and everybody knows that's not allowed in prison. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of my most powerful moments in prison, where I realized, being at your lowest, you will realize that some days you get the opportunity to create family. And you was this perfect example of me creating my family. I didn't have nobody. I didn't have Megan. Yeah, that's my girlfriend and I love her. But at my lowest, I'm talking about when I didn't even have a noodle to eat and I just was depending on straight trays. You would come through every day. Hey, little bro, you hungry? I'm about to cook up. You want some? You good? Before you go to work, you go stop at my room. Hey, I'm going to work. I'm just trying to make sure you.
What's up, though?
You probably don't realize you had the most impact on me. That's when I realized I may not be able to get on that prison phone and call my mama because it ain't no money on there. But guess what? I can walk down that hallway and call my brother because I know he gonna come through. And I always look at a situation when you at your lowest and you ain't got nobody but the person next to you at your lowest, at their lowest as well. Y'all be getting to run like a pack of wolves. But I realized we were the type of wolves that wasn't the type to just eat anything. You know what I'm saying? We ate the food that was only conducive to our mind, body, and soul. If it was just conducive to our body, we wouldn't eat it. I remember you watching your transition to become Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? And one thing for sure, two things for certain, as being a ranking gang, I'm not even gonna say gang because we were not a gang. I was not a part of a gang. As a ranking organization member, I remember nothing moving on that prison yard unless Bishop and Indy had to say something. And one thing I always remembered, even when we separated after our prison journeys continued, because I did a 10-year bit out of a 6 to 20 year bit. So if I choose to violate parole today, guess what? I go back for another 10 if they choose to hold me. But having conversations with
I got 40.
You know what I'm saying? I already missed all my 20s.
I got 40 on
and I'm going to say this. One thing me and you always did. Everybody else could be talking about what rapper got the flyest jewelry and which woman is the baddest in this music game or this entertainment industry or who seen Wild 'N Out episode last night. Me and you was sitting there spinning about this moment right here. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Right now is a moment in which, right now is a moment in which, like, bro, I do want to just show you the utmost appreciation because I didn't have this vision of where we was trying to go. It took some years. It took a lot of prison fights. It took some months in the hole, and it took a lot of you pushing your finger in my forehead and a lot of getting on my ass. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to me being prolific, to be honest, I'm not even gonna lie, big bro. I'm not nowhere where I want to be, but I'm getting there. I'm working towards it.
Yeah.
I'm applying everything you told me to do, everything you knew I was capable of doing before I even knew I was capable of doing it. You told me I would be able to do it.
Okay. That's because one, I seen the potential in you. Like I always love you, and like for the people listening, it wasn't the fact that I ain't remember who Nick was coming through the line. I ain't recognizing he had a big ass afro, looking like one of the Smurfs, looking like a little troll, and he had facial hair. Like it threw me off. He had a mustache. I had never seen him like that. Like at this time, I had went to the joint the first time at 08, came home in 2011, and I went back in 2013. I ain't seen Nick in person since once in 2011. I had just got home. And by the time I seen him in prison, it was 2016. I already had 3 years in. And like everything he said true. And I asked him because I wanted somebody to bear witness to the growth that was made with both of us. Not for no flowers or no clout or nothing like that. Because in all honesty, the way we lived prior to us coming home, it was all garbage. Like ain't no clout, ain't no stripes, ain't no respect for it. Like real men, they got real vision and real purpose in life. they don't live the way that me and bro live that put us in prison. And they don't live how they live when they get to
You know,
prison. You feel
if
me?
I
So
can even say something, big bro, and I do want to
yeah,
sort of kind of interrupt you. I've realized
yeah.
coming home and really sitting back and thinking about the things that I was doing before I came home, big bro. I realized the things that me and you were out there doing, and like I said, I was sheltered at first. I had to get out there and just defy everything just because y'all wanted me not to. The things that me and you was doing,
Mm-hmm.
even the people around us, my brother included, wasn't doing the things me and you was doing. We was really getting activated.
No, most no, yeah, no, most of them wasn't. Most of them wasn't. Like some was watching, some was scared, and then some was just getting money. But they wouldn't. It's a lot of them wasn't as hands on and poor with decision making as we was. You feel me?
I'm gonna
And
say it like this: when it come to taking chances and really trying to get out the hood, as far as like our neighborhood, I can't speak on anybody else's hood. I can't speak on no other risk that people was taking. Not my business. But
mm-hmm,
one thing that I know,
mm-hmm,
it's a difference between being with something and for something. You know what I'm saying? A
no
lot of
doubt,
people was with us, but was never for us.
no doubt. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Cause it was and man, look, the people don't know, Megan don't know, like you was willing to go to war with the Nation of Islam, and I was willing to go to war with the Vice Lords over each other. Like it was on the flow. Like I ain't even like y'all don't understand. Like for people who never did no time, like they don't tell you how when you do that time and your only family you can rely on is people you in prison with. They don't tell you how when you doing that time, no matter what you're doing in prison, when you call it home, sometimes the person gonna do what they want to say, what they want with your money or with your child or with your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't tell you that your friends or your family is gonna run off with your woman or your man or your baby mama. They don't tell you that, oh yeah, you're gonna go down and do this time for us, or we have making these poor choices, but your mama might die before you come home, or your mama may go through dementia before you get home. They don't tell you ain't no guns in prison. If you can't fight, don't go to prison trying to act tough because they either gonna beat you down and make an example out you, or they gonna put steel on you. They're gonna put a knife on you. They're gonna put a padlock on you. Like they don't tell you about the high propensity for you to end up at a prison where it's more predators and you could potentially be a victim, either physical or sexual abuse. Like these is the stories they not telling these young boys and girls that's out here, and they making these poor ass choices. Like most of these folks, they don't think you can go to prison as an adult at 14, 15 years old. They think, oh, I'm gonna just do till I'm 18, or I could just do till I'm 21 after I smoke dog. Like no, like they got yellow beezy. They looking at Yo Gotti. They got dirt. They act like they want to do something with little baby. Like they going after all your favorite peoples that you listen to and your role models. Like them real men that's out here in the streets and they stand. And the reason why I'm going down this route is because here I was. I took a plea for 9 to 15. They gave me 9 to 40. I was in prison, y'all, willing to take somebody's life and willing to lose my life over my little brother, little Nick, over you.
Sure.
And like even though our love we had for each other was genuine, it was still stupid because we was willing to throw our life away on a prison yard that we don't own, don't have no stock in, over a situation we had no control over except for us putting ourselves in it and over around some people who didn't care nothing about us because everybody who was around us was doing more time than we was.
And you know what's crazy about that?
But
This is what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna vouch. One thing that, and I don't want to say the wrong thing to where it turns somebody odd, but my biggest problem is giving oath to people I don't know, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I folded my flag, man. I humbly did it. I took my out, but it come to a point in time where like the person that you supposed to be most loyal to is yourself.
yeah, no doubt. You're supposed to be loyal to yourself first.
And one thing about that, like I was on the me and you was both on the prison yard, but we didn't know nobody. We didn't know nobody. We knew each other, and that's it. And it's crazy because a lot of your brothers and my brothers didn't like that.
No doubt.
They didn't like we was willing to
No
go
doubt.
against every oath and every rule and law that they set. And we was willing to take whatever came with it. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. They going to let us out the hole the same day. And if we got to, we going to transform and get right back activated.
No doubt. But you know, rather they kept us in the hole or not or transferred us outright. The intent was genuine, but the decision was still poor. Yeah. And that's the point I'm staying on for the simple fact. If we honestly knew how much we was worth back then at that time, our decision making would have been different.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I always catch myself saying if I knew back then what I know now. But I stopped saying that because that's a form of regret and me looking in the mirror. We as humans, we beat ourselves up over mistakes rather than appreciate the mistakes for learning lessons.
No, they can definitely be your university, you know what I'm saying? They could definitely be your incubator, or it could be your casket. I don't negate what you're saying. I'm just highlighting the fact that everybody don't get blessed to do what we did though.
Absolutely.
They don't get blessed to make all them poor ass choices, transition through the poor choices, and then see the streets again and have a productive life. You feel me? Like I only been home 11 months. You've been home what, 3 months?
I've been
4
home
months?
about 6. September. I got out September.
Okay, you see 6 months. Yeah, September. See, it went by so fast, you feel me? But like what you doing with your professional video game, with your streaming, you working on your clothing line, with your job you got, with the woman you got, the transitions you making. How many people get to do that after making poor choices? Like folks go in for robberies, they end up coming out with murders. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that,
some folk go in for robberies and get murdered during their robbery.
But then I'm gonna tell you the even worse part. I'm gonna tell you how low in dark prison gets some days. And I'm gonna use this story, and you gonna laugh when I use this story. The story of Shorty J.
All my life. Man, Shorty J was in the serving the 5 to 20. Shorty J, for those who don't know.
Hello?
Older. Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Y'all, we having technical difficulties.
My bad.
Okay.
You can hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
All right, so if you don't mind me telling the story of Shorty J. Shorty J is somebody locked up, incarcerated, in prison with a natural life bit. He came down with 1 to 10. And he stabbed somebody, and he was a former title holder in boxing, and he stabbed somebody over his boy, over his piece of meat in prison, and he's stuck in prison for life. And it be little simple decisions like that really change a person's life. Like I said, you can learn a lot from a dummy. And then I realized a lot of people go to prison and do prison the wrong way. You're supposed to keep your head down and mind your business. A lot of people come down with lesser time than what we did, and they telling, they helping the police when we supposed to police our own community. They indulging in homosexual activities, and they running from another man that and I'm not condoning it. They running from another man that bleeds just like them.
No doubt.
You know, so I mean, it come to a point in time where it's like, I'm not gonna preach get out the streets to the youth, but if I do preach something, I'm gonna preach. If you in there, get up out of there. Go with a plan. You just can't be in the streets with a plan. Oh, I'm gonna be a street nigga forever. If it ain't on Chapin Street, I ain't messing with him. If it ain't off Joy Road, I ain't messing with him. I have been blessed with the opportunity to be incarcerated outside of a state where I don't know nobody. So I had to stick my foot out and make the mistakes that I made in order to learn who for me and who not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was the benefit. And that was the benefit of doing it. Yeah.
And I realized some days you got to take advantage of a disadvantage. That's what I'm going to preach to the youth. Take advantage of your disadvantage. You was born to these circumstances. That means you got the ability to survive. And when you have this ability to survive, you can survive anywhere. But you got to turn that survival mode into living mode. You got to take that
You got to.
survival instinct and come up with a game plan that's gonna get you to live.
You got to. I'm gonna talk directly to anybody who looking and listening, but especially the young people. What bro just said, your survival instinct, your ability to live. Most of us don't know that all of us that's alive right now are one of a kind. You are one of 300 million sperm counts that ejaculated from your father into your mother. Then you went through another hostile environment with sitting and hoping that it's an egg on your mother wall for you to grasp onto and hold on to. Then when it starts spinning and moving and then the ovum get formed, that's another hostile environment because then you got to endure 9 months of grueling labor, growth, and pain while living inside your mother. Then, hey now, baby.
Hey,
That's my
Katina.
fiance back in. Yeah,
What
yeah,
up,
Okay, then we got her
though?
yeah,
live from on the podcast. Y'all hear her? Give
yeah.
her a shout out.
I ain't never did a back to back. This night's some epic. It's some epic. But from being the one of 300 million of your father's sperm to grasping on to your mother's egg and becoming over, then growing through 9 months of grueling pain, torture, growth, and then getting adjusted to all the different sounds and voices. Like your first act of faith as a child is crying out for your mother. Like as a child, your mother is God all the time. You feel me? Even as adults. So with you going through your circumstances and using your struggle as a foundation, like you already built to overcome any obstacle that you face. Like, and this ain't me just saying it because it sounds good or because I study and no, like me having fist fights, having gang fights, fighting with the police in 2 states, then living how I was living, stabbing and getting stabbed, and then beating COVID, beating colon cancer twice. You so funny. Like I'm telling you, I know what survival instinct look like and feel like. Growth is always gonna be uncomfortable. It's always gonna be painful, but it's worth it. Like y'all are more than abandoned buildings. You more than blocks you on. You more than school colors. You more than Letterman jackets. You more than neighborhood tribal beefs. Like you are priceless. You know what I'm saying? You are priceless. Like anybody watching this, you have immeasurable potential, and Allah created you for a reason. Whether that be to be the best cook in the world, or rather that be to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and or for you to be the best janitor that happen to be around when somebody need their life saved, and you get the money that you need to start your own business or your own medical practice, whatever it look like. Did nobody think Lewis Latimer was going to do the filament light bulb? Did nobody think Benjamin Banneker was going to create the first almanac design, Washington D.C.? And didn't nobody think Kobe was going to score 81 points in 3 quarters and set out the whole fourth quarter? Like, it's so many different levels and expressions of being prolific. You just got to tap into your potential because ain't nobody going to love you and bank on you the way you do. I'm telling you this. Ain't no friends on that prison, y'all. You got to hope you find family, either blood related or family that you can make. Because I've been backdoored in prison. I've been backdoored on the street. And me out here doing politics, I'm still getting backdoored by people who look like me right here in Ben Harbor, Michigan. I'm doing politics. Like the whole world is y'all oyster. Everything that me and bro doing right now, we playing catch up. Y'all been out here in this world y'all whole life. Everything y'all need at y'all cell phone and y'all laptop. The whole world is being given to y'all, and so many of us has fallen behind and losing that it's painful. This the world my son coming up in. But the young people, younger than me, I'm 35. Young people younger than me, this y'all world. Y'all in total control of it. The only difference is y'all got to figure out how to get the power and how to do something beneficial to it to where the world gonna be better. Because it ain't the man in the White House, and it ain't solely the people that run your town. Everybody answer to somebody. But until you take control of your life and your destiny, you're always gonna be subject to somebody else's will and command. And it don't matter how you look at life. It could be directly and indirectly. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm gonna give y'all for tonight. My brother, Indy 500. Hey, before we sign off, man, say what you got to say. Introduce yourself again to the people. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to lay it all out before we get up off of here tonight, man. It's on
Hey,
you right
listen,
now.
man, this Indy 500, Mr. Better Than Kai Cenat, Mr. The hat, shirt, belt, pants, and the shoes, man. I'm on Twitch every day. Catch me there. The letter N, the letter D, 500_. Shout out my girlfriend, Megan Kurlikowski. You can follow her on Twitch too at Pink Camo XD. I just want to say, brother, I appreciate you. I love what you doing. Keep doing it, because ain't nobody right now doing it like the youth and how you doing it. You know what I'm saying? We the next ones up when it comes to having and holding a platform. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to your beautiful queen, Katrina. I appreciate you just for having me on this platform. It means so much. From the streets to the prison, back to the streets. What's crazy is we not even in the streets, but we on the streets. And it's time to get a hold of these youth and preach that if I got any message to the youth, more do you invest your time in them streets, the best investment is yourself. Invest into yourself, because you ain't nobody gonna make that return like you gonna make that return. So I'm Audi
Nobody.
5000 because I'm Indy 500, big bro, and I just appreciate you for having me here.
Yes, sir. This podcast been brought to you by none other, me, Derek Bishop, Derek X, Lil Fred, whatever y'all want to call me. Just don't call me none disrespectful. Call me late for dinner. Everybody got to get their bag. I need
Hey,
mine. It's been a product of Faction LLC, Faith and Action. You understand what I'm
hey,
saying?
big bro, if you don't mind me real quick, it is one other
Yeah.
thing that I wanted to say, not just to the youth, but to
Okay.
everybody else. If you are in the Berrien Springs, Benton Harbor area, and you looking for a haircut, Refined Barber Company is the place to be. Refined Barber Company is the place to go. If anybody of any color wants a haircut, Refined Barber Company is owned by my girlfriend. She is right here on this podcast, Megan Kurlikowski. Shout you out. I appreciate you. I love you. And I just want everybody to know you in the 269 area or the 574 area, or you somewhere looking for somebody who can cut hair with some great hands. My girlfriend, Megan Kurlikowski, got it. And I just want to let y'all know.
Thanks, babe. I love you.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Cross branding. That's so sweet. You better love him. He doing all that. Cross branding. But Megan, I appreciate you coming on too, sis. It's 100. You feel me? I appreciate everything you do for bro. And I'm glad that y'all have figured out a way how to compliment and complete each other. That shit dope.
Thank
Hey,
you.
can I
That
say,
shit dope.
can I
Y'all
ask you one
definitely,
question, big bro? Talking about cross branding. So
yeah.
can I give you a couple of her cards, or at least like can I get you to post her, like just tag her company in, like, hey, anybody in the 269 area looking for
Yeah.
some haircuts, Refined Barber Company,
Yeah.
schedule an appointment, and that's what's going on. Use my name,
Yeah.
use your
Yeah.
name. She know who you is.
Send me them. No, yeah, send me them. Send me them. I'm gonna go to the UPS store and print some more
All
stuff
right,
off.
bet. I love you, bro. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it, and I
So,
just want you to know it ain't nobody on my Facebook right now doing what you're doing. So keep going, cause somebody coming to get you.
no doubt. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, bro. That's love. You know I love you, man. That ain't nothing, man. We family, bro. Like, man, we locked in like a death row inmate in the Florence ADX right now. You
Absolutely.
understand me? We locked in. I got you. You know what I mean? Another, once again, humbly prolific, Faith in Action, Faction LLC. Y'all stay prolific, man.